Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. So we're just opening up the phone lines, talking about the doctor that called earlier, talking about drug use.
They have this idea of someone who uses heroin as some poor soul who is injecting the drug and is a slave to the drug. And they think that heroin is the reason for that person's problem, because that person definitely exists. But the person's problem is not so much heroin as everything else. Like the person might have co-occurring psychiatric illnesses.
I always hear people say, well, I'm chasing that high I got the first time that I use it. But is that a real thing? Because I've heard so many people say that on documentaries.
Yeah, I know, because we are willing to accept that, right? No, it's certainly true. Like, just think of the first time you enjoyed an orgasm. It's like, it was amazing. For me, the first time, it's like, am I chasing the first time I had an orgasm? No,
Yeah.
Of course not. But although I do
like that feeling.
I like that
but
feeling.
But orgasm can't kill me, can it?
What? Orgasm can't kill you? You certainly can get killed.
What do you guys think? Start with you, Yee.
I mean, I understand, and he was stressing that he was not telling people to use drugs. He was saying for people that do use drugs, they're going to do it anyway, just like a lot of people do things you know you shouldn't do, but it does still happen. So how do you make it safer for people to do it? They didn't make me want to try drugs or want to use heroin or anything like that, but I understand that a lot of times people are mixing different cocktails together of different drugs, and people are also not knowing what they're taking because they're buying it off the street. So it just makes it more dangerous.
It didn't sound like it to me. I mean, him saying that he used drugs and he wasn't addicted makes it kind of seem like it's okay in what he said. I'm from a different school. I know there's some parents out there that be like, hey, my kids are going to drink anyway. I'd rather them drink in the house. I'm not that parent. My parents weren't that parent. My parents were, no, you're not drinking and you're not drinking in my house. And if I catch you drinking, I'm going to bust your ass. That's the way I am. You're not drinking in my house. Some parents allow that. Hey, if you're going to drink, you might as well drink anyway.
Yeah, my parents would let me drink with them.
See, that's your parents, not mine. Now, that's how I feel. My thing is, no, drug use is not good at all. I don't want to promote it. I don't want to talk about I tried it or use it or you can be in a walking heroin fiend. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't sound good to me. Don't use drugs. I don't want my kids near drugs. It's bad. I don't want you to try it.
Even
I don't
weed?
want you to, huh?
Even weed?
I don't want them trying weed either.
Stop.
I'm just asking,
but I don't want them
because
using my
that's
kids.
drugs,
I don't want them using any drugs.
We're talking about heroin, man. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing with Dr. Hart. I feel that all drugs should be decriminalized. I don't want to see people going to jail for addiction. If you have a problem with heroin, if you have a addiction problem with crack, addiction problem with meth, I don't think you should go to jail for that. You should, get help. And I don't think we should create safe spaces to do drugs. I think we should invest resources into people going to rehab, people seeking treatment, and provide opportunities for them. You know, I'm a big advocate for mental health and mindfulness, and there's a lot of other ways to deal with your trauma other than telling people to turn to drugs.
Well, let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Dana from Newport News.
Hey, Zaina from the 757. What were your thoughts?
I think that what he's saying is very irresponsible because everybody doesn't have the luxury of getting their drugs from Sweden. So what is he expecting people to go out here and buy heroin and take it to the police station and be like, hey, can you test my drugs for me? Like, it's illegal here, So there is no safe way to do heroin here in America. And if that's the message that he's trying to put out, is that there is a safe way if the government put certain things in place, then let that be the message. But don't go out here promoting that there's a safe way to do this in America, because not everybody who does drugs are doing them because their life is the bull and they're trying to escape their problems. A lot of this starts out as just fun,
exactly.
People at parties and doing things. And so somebody may be listening to this guy right now thinking their life is fine, but they're curious about what he's saying, and they try it and die.
And that's my
heroin is
point.
the
Yeah,
most
that they feel like
addictive
it's
drug.
not that bad because the way he talks, it makes it seem like it's not that bad. But that's not the heroin addicts I've seen when I be buying these cribs, and that's not how my uncle OD'd. It was bad.
But I told him
you.
that, though. I told him that, his perspective was coming from a real place of privilege.
Hello, who's this?
This is Travis.
Hey, Travis. What's going on? What did you think of the doctor?
Man, I just want to say I've had 4 really close friends die from overdose in the past year or year and a half. And I'm talking about people that were very respectable people until they decided to start using pain pills and heroin and Xanax. And it completely changed these people. Once the drug use started, they were no longer the same people that I knew and loved and respected. They lied, they cheated, they did anything to get the drug. And I just watched it, over a course of 2 years. They completely became somebody else.
Right.
For him to say that it's not the drugs, that it's their personality, and that's a lie, man. These drugs is killing people.
Thank you, brother.
I agree.
Hello, who's this?
This is Ashley from Jacksonville, Florida, 904.
904, what's happening?
Ashley, good morning.
Hi, Charlamagne. Hi, DJ Envy. Hi,
morning.
Angela. I love you guys.
Hey,
Thank you
Ashley.
back. So what's your thoughts on the doctor that called in from
So
Florida?
my thought is, guys, y'all are so rough. DJ Envy, I know you have your stance on the drug use, and Charlamagne, I know you're with therapy, but he's trying to get out that he's not promoting drugs. He's just saying for those who are going to quit against therapy altogether, especially our black community, who's against therapy, just how to safely use it. Y'all didn't really let him talk until the end.
Well, can I ask you a question? Where's the safe space for people to do that in America? Should you take your drugs to the police station to have them tested?
No, that's why he said we should build some. Other countries have different laws. Our country is our country.
Right.
Now, listen,
He was saying he's seen it work in other places, and so something like that could be implemented here instead of always trying to demonize these
Right.
people who are addicts and calling them fiends and crackheads.
I think we should.
Right.
I think instead of creating safe spaces, we should invest resources into people going to rehab. We should invest resources into people seeking treatment and provide opportunities for them. That's what.
But
I
what
think.
do we do with the people who say no? Our older generation is against all of that.
Right. You could do both. You could invest more money into that and also have resources where if they are going to continue to do it, at least don't die from something that's not what you think it is.
Exactly.
Hey man, I'm
Well,
not
thank you,
encouraging
Mama.
nobody to do heroin.
I'm not
I don't
encouraging
think that's
anybody
what
to do
it
heroin.
is.
That's
But then
exactly
again,
what
I'm
it
not
is.
encouraged. Like, there's
So
certain
what about the
things-
people that are using it? Just
I mean,
Pray
they
for
need
'em.
help.
That's
I
all
think
you
they
can do
need
at
help.
this
But what if
point.
they
But I
don't want to
wanna
get help?
encourage
You know
more
how hard
people to
that
use it.
is.
If they don't want to get help, pray for them.
Yeah, I mean, I want
Because
them
it's
to
not
get
going
help.
well.
Just leave them.
It's
No,
not,
I'm
but
I'm
it's not
saying
going in
leave it.
well.
I
Yee.
just said just help them. They need help. But I don't want to encourage anybody else to get on heroin.
At all.
We're taking your calls on the doctor that just called about drug use. And,
Dr. Carl Hart, he was up here.
Yeah, he was here.
But like, my opinion, I think that nobody should be using heroin. Like I
We
was
all
saying
think
behind the
that.
scenes, I think they should ban cigarettes. If they telling you cigarettes causes cancer and cancer kills you, why are we allowing people to smoke it?
I don't
That's
think people
my
should
opinion.
eat meat.
Only thing I
don't
agree-
think people should eat red meat.
The only thing I agree with Dr. Carl Hart on is that drugs should be decriminalized. That should be the message because I don't want to see people going to jail because they have addiction problems.
Correct. I
Red meat
agree
is a
with that.
level 1 carcinogen, and we sell that and eat it.
I mean, if something,
I think
if
we
we
should.
can, if it's guaranteed that something can kill you like cigarettes, like heroin can, and it's so addictive, no, I'm not going to encourage nobody to ever use it and say it's okay or it's fine. That's just my opinion. But let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Kathleen.
Hey, good morning. What was your thoughts on the doctor?
Dr. Carl
Well,
Hart.
I get it that he said he wants the kids to come home. I get that part. Everybody's going to try it. But I don't agree with him when he said, oh, go get it tested. How many addicts you know are going to be able to go out there, purchase their drugs, and then go get it tested? No, they want their fix then. They don't want to wait and try to get it tested. They want it then.
I guess he was
And
saying
then
he's
he
seen it
said-
work in other countries.
But heroin is too
And then
much
he-
of a monster drug, y'all. This is heroin
It's the
we're
most
talking
addictive
about.
drug.
Like,
He
this,
said something that had me laughing. He said how he quit opiates just like that. That wasn't his drug, but I bet you he can't quit heroin just like that.
exactly.
Well, he said he hasn't taken it in a year and a half.
I don't believe him.
No, that I don't believe that.
Well, thank you, Mama. Hello, who's this?
Russell,
Hey, Russell, what's your opinion on the doctor, Dr. Carl Hart that just checked in?
I think he's a quack, man. I think he's just like all drug users. He's just trying to justify his use. Because for him to say that he can destroy our communities, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay.
I've been around. I'm 61. I've been around. I've seen them since the boys coming home from Vietnam, all messed up, and all in the 80s. Bed-Stuy, Southside Jamaica.
Word.
It tore us apart, man. For him to say that is ludicrous.
All right. Thank you. Hello, who's this?
Hello?
Hey, what's your name?
Anonymous.
Hey, Anonymous. What are your thoughts on the doctor?
I felt that I understood what he was saying. I felt that there are functional drug users out here, and like I told the other guy on the phone, I told him, I'm not a drug user, but I be around people who deal, and I've been around people who use.
I hear that Geechee in your voice now. I hear that 843, so I know you ain't lying.
And yes, 843. But anyway, so, but what I'm saying is, I've seen people who are judges, politicians, lawyers, doctors, who go hard Friday when they get off work, go hard Saturday, and then Monday right back at work and doing their thing. So I've seen functional drug users, but then I've also seen the side that y'all were portraying, like the people who come in their mama house, stealing the TV, like doing all of that to get their high. So I see both sides, but it seemed like initially in his interview, it seemed like y'all were kind of going hard attacking him, but I felt what he was saying and what y'all was saying.
Also, too, it's not just drugs. It's heroin.
Right, and I get that. And see, the thing is, like, okay, with me not being a drug user, it's like, I think of heroin, I think you put the needle in your arm. But, like, I have family members who, like, fail, and they're like, no, it's in, like, a pill form now. You know what I mean? Like, whereas these kids out here pumping these pills and stuff, they're pumping heroin as pills, so it's not even in the needle form no more. So I've seen young people, 20-something-year-olds, and they're saying, like, oh, yeah, he on heroin. And I'm like, ain't no way. Like, you look at them and you can't even tell they're on heroin. But it's like heroin has changed its form now. So when we think of it, we're thinking of the form of you putting a needle in your arm.
Of course.
Like that.
But eventually it catches up. And last year actually was the highest opioid overdose rate ever. But eventually that lifestyle catches up. And I just don't understand anyone who's actually seen dope heads, who's actually seen heroin users, what it does to a person, what it does to a community. I don't understand how you can encourage anyone to do heroin.
Yeah, mine comes from a different place. Mine comes from a close family member that OD'd and died, and I'll never get back from drugs. Mine comes from a place of me investing in real estate in Patterson and Atlantic City and walking into these houses and seeing heroin addicts and fiends and stuck and know that and having conversations with them and telling me that they can't get help, that they've tried. They've been to rehab so many different times, but they just can't kick it. And they came from good families, and their families have tried to save them all, over and over and over again, but they got to stay in these areas because they got to buy their drugs. They got to be able to use their drugs, and how sad that is. And I never would want my family member, my child, my friend, or anybody on something that's dependent where they're living in the slums. No heat, no air conditioner, no water, no nothing, just to get these drugs.
Now, I know in the future,
how much pain my mother had to deal with because her brother passed away from the OD. And I would never tell anybody, oh, being a functional drug user is okay. No, that's my opinion. If y'all don't like it, it's me. I don't want my kids. I don't want my family members. I don't want anybody using those hard drugs.
I know in the future, I'm going to have a drink with my children. I know in the future, I might smoke some weed with my children. I ain't doing no heroin. You know what I'm saying? I ain't smoking no crack. I ain't doing no cocaine.
But that's me. I'm not doing no coke. I'm not doing no heroin. I'm not doing no crack. I'm not doing opioids. I'm not doing none of that. That's just me. I'm not doing ecstasy. That's just me. I don't want to. That's me personally. I've seen the effects of it on family and friends, and I just don't want to be in that
the moral of the story is I do feel that all those drugs should be decriminalized. I don't want to see people going to jail for addiction. But I want to see people get help. I don't want to create safe spaces so they can do their drugs. We should invest resources into people going to rehab, seeking treatment, and providing better opportunities for them.
I agree with that as well. I don't understand how somebody that's addicted to heroin could get locked up if they're addicted to it. They
gotta get them help.
All right. Well, we got rumors on the way?
Yes, we are going to talk about a new group that Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak have formed.
All right. We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.